Hello my beautiful people. Today we are going to make marry me chicken. Well, tofu. So we're using some foam tofu and this is going to be not only delicious but less than 300 calories a serve. So not only will they want to marry you, they'll want to have your babies and they'll want to share their 401k with you and yada yada yada. It's that good, trust me. Alright, first things first. What we're going to do, I've got a very short microphone cord, so let's see how that goes. Bear with me. One day I will have all of the fancy equipment, but today's not that day. Alright, I'm getting my tofu. I'm just going to squeeze out some moisture. You can do all the, all the bother of squeezing your moisture out, and you can freeze it, and that's supposed to improve the texture. But I like it just like that. But however you like to do it, you do it that way. So I'm going to do it into bite-sized pieces, and I'm tearing it with my hands because that gives us all the craggy little edges, and then they help to crisp it up and hold more of the flavour in the end. So we'll keep going with that. Cooking's fun when you get your hands in it. Nearly done with that. All right, can you see that? What we're going to add to that is a little bit of nutritional yeast, not much, a little bit of, this is tapioca starch. So you can do this in a Snaplock bag, but since we're all trying to get over our single-use plastic bags, why not do it this way? So shake that up. I forgot something. We want the chicken stock powder. So this is Massel chicken stock powder. It's a vegan chicken style. And that's going to give us our chickeny flavour. Can't believe I nearly forgot that. So a big old heaped teaspoon of that, or dessert thing of that. All right, now it's smelling chickeny. All is right with the world. That a very good mix up onto my air fryer. See that extra moisture has actually just made it kind of, I don't know, battery almost. So that's good. Let's not waste any of that. Right, single layer onto your sheet. It is better if you can give it a bit more room than this, but my air fryer is as big as it is, and I'm not bothering to do 2 batches because life's too short, right? All right, I'm going to pop that into the air fryer for about 15 minutes until it's nice and crunchy. Now while that's in the oven, we are going to chop up an onion, or in my case 2 onions, because these are teeny weeny little ones. I might just use that container that we had before for my scraps. Chopping up an onion. I'm going to do these in slices because I like a bit of texture in my marry me chicken. Alright, so this marry me chicken is going to be slightly different than the ones you've seen on TikTok, but it's going to have more flavour. In my opinion, it's levelling it up. Alright, so after we've done our onions, the next thing I'm going to do is just prep our sun-dried tomatoes. Now these sun-dried tomatoes come cryo-packed and they're not in any oil, so much healthier for you, but they haven't removed the skins yet, so that's something you need to do. Well, I don't suppose you need to do, but it's good to do. Now I've only got 3 sun-dried tomatoes because I'm not a huge fan of them. So I'm going to use a mixture of sun-dried tomatoes and tomato paste. But you put more of these in if that's your preference. it really doesn't matter. I just think the tomato paste just gives it a more rounded flavour. So I'm going to, because I don't like them very much, I'm going to chop them very finely. So you don't get too much in any one mouthful. One day I'm going to cut that cord. Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be? I don't know. Alright. Okay, and we might just get the cream ready for our sauce. Now this is where my Marry Me chicken is leaps and bounds ahead of the other ones in terms of calorie content and in terms of goodness for you. Because we are using a mixture of some dates that have been soaked only for a couple of hours. Usually I do it overnight, but didn't get around to that. So I just soaked them this morning in some water. And we are going to put in half a tub. Yeah, I know you saw that. I should really wear aprons, hey? Oh well. Might as well wash your clothes as much as you have to wash an apron, right? So rather than doing it with all cashews, by doing half cashews and half silken tofu, you're getting all of the creaminess that you would with cashews, but you are lowering calorie density. So that's why I do it that way. And we're going to need some sort of plant-based milk. So in my recipe today, I'm going to use soya milk. So about a cup of soya milk. Was that a cup, you think? I feel like I need a bit more. There you go. So also to help out with a bit of tartness, we're going to put in some apple cider vinegar. Now, I am not going to reach over to my NutriBullet to be able to do this. So I'm going to pop the microphone down and stop talking for a minute. Who knew? Now, let's have a look at how this turned out. Now, I did blend it for quite a bit longer than what you saw, because what you want to do is make sure that all those cashews are nicely blended. Yep, yummy and creamy. All right, so now we have everything set up. Let's head on to the stove. All right, onto a medium flame in a non-stick pan. Let's just put in our onions, and we want to saute them off again. Saute them off with no oil. You can use oil if you like to. Oh, that's hot. But I don't like to use oil, and it will change the macros if you do. So we are going to give that a little while to make friends in the pan, and if we need to, we can add some water to help that move along. Okay, that's been about a minute, so we'll check on that again. It's feeling quite dry. I think it will need a wee splash of water. Okay, another minute's passed, and I'll stir that again, add a bit more water. I actually like to get quite a bit of colour on my onions because that gives a little bit of extra flavour. Okay, another minute. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to need some water. Feel like we're getting close though. Now while that last minute was going, my tofu my air fryer. I think then I'm just going to turn it over a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing there, or do I need to go further? Can you see that? Just going to turn these ones over. And then I might just pop them in for another 5-10 minutes. Oopsie, good thing my hob's clean. Alright. You see that colour starting to get on there? That's looking good. Alright, at this point, let's chuck in our garlic. So I have quite a lot of garlic. This is probably a whole tablespoon, if not 1.5 tablespoons of garlic. We don't want to burn the garlic, so we're not going to leave that too long. You do also need to fry off your tomato paste. That went everywhere. Okay, we haven't got much tomato paste in there. Oh, let's see, that should be enough. Alright, we'll fry that off. A little bit of red wine to deglaze the pan. You can use white wine. I actually think white wine might be better, but I just didn't have any, so red wine is going to do it. I used red wine in my practice one and it was absolutely fine. Okay. Next I'm going to use some of these vegetable stock pots. Rather than using the powder, I just thought I'd try the liquidy one. Right. Give that a go. A little bit of sweetener in the rice malt. Not too much. In with some Italian herbs. This would be better with fresh herbs. I just didn't have any. So maybe it's just moving with me chicken. Who knows? And those sun-dried tomatoes we chopped up earlier. Now I think I might just pop a little bit of thickener in at this point, because I like it to, oh, didn't mean to put that much in, but that's all right. A thick, rich sauce sounds delicious. We want to make that work. Okay. Got pepper. I just need to check that I'm actually recording. Sometimes I forget to do the recording. Oh, that's so annoying. But not today. Alright, that's getting a bit thick now with that cornstarch. So let us go in with all of that delicious creaminess that we made earlier. Ooh. Low fat cream, baby. Come to mama. There we go. Okay, just as I suspected, it's getting very, very thick. So we might need some more milk. But this is so yummy. The more sauce to tofu ratio, the better. Okay. Now the original Marimi chicken calls for some Parmesan cheese at this stage, but we are going to use our trusty friend nutritional yeast, and we want a bunch of that, maybe half a cup. Oh, looking so good. I can hear my air fryer's finished, so I am going to run over and check on that. I just tasted it and it is good, but it could be better. So I found some rosemary on the windowsill garden. So I'm going to put that in because it needs some green, and I'm going to put in a bit more wine for richness, and I'm going to put in some miso for some oomph and saltiness. Right, let's give that a go. I actually think I didn't have enough tomato paste too. I wonder if I can squeeze some more out of that tube. Wait a minute. Let's give it a taste before we get too carried away. Oopsie! Oops, taste test. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's done it. Oh, you know what it is missing? The chili flakes. That's all it needs. Some chili flakes. Now, I like it hot, so I'm going to put a fair amount of chili flakes, and it's also going to give me more delicious red colour. Pop those guys in. Bring that over to here. Oh, mixing it all in. You know what? It definitely was a little bit too much tapioca starch. But it's still alright. Just use less when you do it. Right, that's all mixed in. And I had a little bit of the extra stuff that I didn't get out before. Bring over my herb plant and get a little bit more of these guys in, because I just think it needs a little bit of extra green. Try not to get any stalk in. Let's look at that. What do you think? Marry me, chicken. Oh, you want me to taste it? Don't mind if I do. A little piece. Oh, there's a little piece. Alright. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Oh. It is so creamy.